take you through some news coming in from Tamil Nadu. It's quite a shocker from Theni Hospital, where we saw bodies of COVID patients who passed away piling up on top of each other. Here's shocking images that's come from the hospital, government hospital in Tamil Nadu's Theni. Bodies of COVID patients can be seen piled up at this hospital. Relatives there allegedly they were told to search for their loved ones on their own amid that pile. The hospital has now responded to the viral video, with the dean saying the action has been taken against the officials responsible for this inhuman handling of the dead bodies. A contract worker has been dismissed while departmental inquiry has been initiated against the two staff members. Speaking to India Today, the dean has admitted that rules have been broken and assured that new facility will be created to keep the bodies.
Immediately I intervened and made an inquiry there.
Okay.
The responsible officers like the RMO and the HOD, Department of Forensic Medicine, were called for the inquiry. And then made a detailed inquiry and find fault with 3 of the workers there.
Okay.
One is a private worker by the private management, Crystal.
Okay.
He is the security guard on duty.
Okay.
And the 2 fellows are mortuary attendant, is a government staff, sir.
Okay. Okay.
So I initiated a departmental action against these 2 defaulters.
Okay.
And I recommended the removal from service to that particular private agency of that fellow, sir.
Well, cutting across to the hill stations, Nilgiris, that comprises of Ooty, Kunur, these are areas that thrive on tourism. It's unfortunate that all the entry points to this hill station has now been cut off. While on one hand, the district administration believes that it's handling COVID well, it seems like there's a big blow to the tourism industry there. Now you can really see the palpable sense of helplessness among the industry insiders. I did a ground report from right there. Let's take a look.
Picture perfect Kunur and Ooty, most favoured tourist destinations. Its sprawling vintage homes host to numerous movies. This is 180 Makiva House in Kunur, which featured in Bollywood film Kapoor and Sons. But the property, painstakingly curated by its owners, now stares at an uncertain future after the lockdown.
This has become a bigger challenge. This pandemic has become, the second lockdown has become the bigger challenge. Keeping the staff, going, keeping their spirits up, because they've left families and they have kids and everything. Keeping their spirits up has been like,
how have you ensured that they've been paid?
Well, we've decided to give them a 50% salary, like most of them. And of course, they stay here and eat all the food, and we're supplying them their food and everything.
Nilgiris thrives on tea and tourism. While tea growers managed to bag some large export orders last year, the hospitality sector is bearing the brunt of the lockdown. Many were forced to wrap up, others tried to diversify.
So the next step, what I did was I actually converted my central store into a supermarket. And it's not a business that I know, but I'm trying to learn that now and try and see whether I can run the supermarket and at least make ends meet. We have a lot of loans. We're shut down, but we're still expected to pay our EMIs. We're expected to pay interest on the loans.
Facing a long, inhospitable road to recovery, the largest tax-paying industry feels alienated.
Well, there are only 2 things when you live in the Nilgiris. One is agriculture and the next is hospitality. And unfortunately, both are not doing too well. So I can't see a way out unless the government steps in. And it's shameful that us being such a big industry in the country, tourism, we don't get too much help from the government.
It's no longer bloom time for the floriculture sector either. The botanical gardens, a must-visit for tourists in Ooty, is almost empty. The Ooty flower show got cancelled for the second time in as many years.
It's the stunning weather round the year that you find here that attracts scores of visitors into the Nilgiris. In fact, 40 lakh people flock in to witness this little heaven on earth on a yearly basis, and now it's been 2 years. The kind of losses faced by the floriculture as well as the hospitality sector here is devastating indeed.
Despite economic losses, the administration has been firm with sealing off the hill stations and containing COVID.
And this being a very small district, an entire hilly district with very minimal medical help, and most of our posts are vacant, specialist posts, the doctors' posts are vacant. So our health system is in fact very fragile, and we're also planning to send a proposal to the government to revive this industry in form of a package. That is in the process.
For the tourism sector?
Yes.
Many of these swanky Victorian-themed heritage houses are nearly 200 years old. Their upkeep remains the biggest challenge in this lockdown.
Right from the British era to now, the Nilgiris has been the most preferred holiday destination. In fact, Kunur and Ooty houses about 1,000-odd resorts, hotels and restaurants, which has now received a big blow due to the COVID-19-induced lockdown. India Today spoke with the district administration. They've assured that their case will be put forward before the state government, and hopefully a relief package will be rolled out soon enough. With camera person Pawan Kumar, Nabila Jamal for India Today, Nilgiris. We're cutting across to Kerala. Some big news coming in. The Kerala State Assembly has now passed a resolution for free vaccine for all in a time-bound manner. Time-bound distribution of the vaccines by the centre. The Kerala State Assembly has unanimously passed a resolution seeking free and time-bound distribution of vaccines by the centre. Remember, Pinarayi Vijayan, the Kerala Chief Minister, had also written to all the other Chief Ministers, non-BJP states, where Chief Ministers, he asked for all of them to come together, unify in seeking free vaccine distribution in a time-bound manner. Kerala State Assembly now unanimously passes the resolution seeking free and time-bound distribution of vaccines by the centre. Now, Kerala, and like many other states, we're looking at students now that have shifted from regular classes, in-person classes, to online classes due to the pandemic. Kerala, several areas that are far away from the reception areas, or how do we say, many of these areas do not have internet connectivity. And that's exactly what Idukki district's problem is right now. As classes have gone online due to COVID-induced lockdown, several students there are finding it quite a challenge to connect to the internet to be part of their online classes. They have to arrange individual gadget to attend these online classes. The struggle here is that they don't find internet spot. They are forced to move at least 6 kilometers away through the dense forest areas only to reach an area of proper reception or network coverage. These students have to move out of their homes, go all the way 6 kilometers, past some forest areas, only to catch some internet connection to be part of their online classes.
அங்கே நெட்வொர்க் இல்லாதனால நாங்கள் இங்கே வந்து படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கிறோம். இங்கே நெட்வொர்க் இருந்தாலுமே இங்கே ஸ்லோ தான். நமக்கு அங்கே ரெடி பண்ணாங்கன்னா இப்போ அங்கே வீட்டிலேயே ஆன்லைன் கிளாஸ் படிக்கலாம். இங்கே வந்து போகிறனால கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமாக இருக்குது. மழையிலலாம் ரொம்ப கஷ்டம்தான்.
Now, cutting focus to Karnataka, we're looking at BJP MLA Baswangaud Yatnal hinting at a Ramesh Jarkioli kind of CD incident in relation to Chief Minister Yediyurappa this time. While hitting out at the Chief Minister Yediyurappa, BJP MLA draws comparison to Ramesh Jarkioli case, says Chief Minister can't act against the rebel Minister Yogeshwar, who complained against the Chief Minister to the High Command, because if he does so, then he will have to resign within an hour. The MLA is hinting at an alleged sex CD that could implicate Chief Minister Yediyurappa himself. Remember BJP MLA and former Minister Ramesh Jarkioli, who was caught in a sex scandal, following which he resigned as the minister. And now BJP's MLA itself, Basangad Yatnal, has hinted at another CD which he alleges is being used to blackmail Chief Minister Yediyurappa, which is why he claims that Yediyurappa has not taken action against Yogeshwar, who has gone to the High Command complaining about the Chief Minister.
ಯೋಗೇಶ್ವರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೋವಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪನವ್ರಿಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪನವರು ಯೋಗೇಶ್ವರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಗಂಟೆ ಸೇಮ್ ರಮೇಶ್ ಜಾರಕಿಹೊಳಿ ಪ್ರಕರಣ ಅದಾದ ಕಾರಣ ಕಾಲಘಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಯೋಗೇಶ್ವರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಉಪಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಂಧನ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೂ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ತೆಗಿ ವಜಾ ಮಾಡೋ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮುರುಗೇಶ್ ನಿರಾಣಿ, ಯೋಗೀಶ್ವರ, NR ಸಂತೋಷ್ ಇವರು ಒಂದೇ ಕೋಟಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆಗೋದು.
Let me quickly cut across to Nolan Pinto, who's been tracking the story. Nolan, here's Basangad Yatnal, who's almost accusing Yogeshwar of having some kind of ammunition against Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa, which he's using to blackmail Yediyurappa, and that's why Yediyurappa isn't taking action against him, despite him ranting to the High Command about the Chief Minister. What exactly is the situation here? Is there an alleged sex tape involving Chief Minister Yediyurappa?
Well, Nabila, we must understand that this is an ongoing feud, especially between Basangad Patil Yatnal and Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa. In the past as well, he has made a large this. Senior leaders in the BJP right here in Karnataka have also asked that action be taken against Basangad Patil Yatnal for the kind of statements he has made against the Chief Minister. Now what is happening is this. CP Yogeshwar, in fact, everyone knows what really happened over there, how he went and complained against the functioning of not just the Chief Minister, but also the interference of his son in the administration. Now, what Yatnal says is that in spite of CP Yogeshwar going and complaining, no action will be taken against him by Yediyurappa because CP Yogeshwar has something against him. Now, we do not know about this particular CD, if it really exists, but Yatnal has made these particular allegations. So either CP Yogeshwar comes out with that, or Yatnal's made these particular allegations. So either CP Yogeshwar comes out with that, or Yatnal comes out with some sort of hard proof. These are as of now just allegations. But it's still very interesting that in spite of all this, no one wants to take action against both Yatnal and CP Yogeshwar.
Right, Nolan, thank you very much for joining us with those details. It is for the Chief Minister himself to respond to these kind of allegations that's been made by his own MLA, Basangad Yatnal. Thank you, Nolan, for joining us. Now, shifting focus to a controversy in Bengaluru over vaccines. A massive controversy has erupted in Bengaluru over vaccination drive that was allegedly being arranged by the government on one hand, and on the other, it was the interference of a BJP local MLA there that really erupted in some kind of confusion in that area. The vaccination drive at Bhuvaneshwari Nagar, the public health center that was in Bhuvaneshwari Nagar, they had stopped vaccination on Monday, allegedly due to pressure from the BJP MLA S. Raghu. Around 300 people who had received tokens after walk-in registration were left in a lurch. In fact, they were seen engaging in an altercation as well with the doctors at the vaccination facility. Locals there alleged that the vaccination facility was closed as the BJP MLA had opened his own vaccination camp, offering doses free of cost. So on one hand, the same BJP is accused of closing down the government-run vaccination center, only so that people can move towards the vaccination center he has opened up free of cost. This was a confusion where many of them waited for hours, accused the doctors and the MLA of indulging in. Now, we're looking at a time when crematoriums are running full in Bengaluru too. It appears that there is no space for those departed, those who've succumbed owing to COVID-19. In fact, Karnataka is setting an example now by doing its bit to ensure that there is some dignity in cremating those who have passed away. As many as 1,100 unclaimed bodies have been cremated in Bengaluru limits. Karnataka Revenue Minister R. Ashoka anticipated in fact, he participated in the ceremony here to immerse about 500 bodies in the Kaveri River. In South Karnataka, ash immersion ceremony is considered very holy and a large number of people usually gather for the same. Nagarjun brings us this report.
At a time when bodies have been thrown into the river Ganga in North India, the Karnataka government has decided to immerse ashes of unclaimed bodies. Around 500 odd unclaimed bodies have been cremated, and their ashes now will be immersed in Kaveri River by the Revenue Department, and the Revenue Minister himself is sitting through the puja of carrying on all the rituals. And this is the ashes that we see of people who passed away with COVID-19, the reason behind their death, and most of them are unclaimed because their families at different points of time were in a difficult position, and that's the reason why they could not cremate and take the ashes to the river Kaveri. It's considered quite holy here in Karnataka for a person's ashes after they passed away to be immersed in Karnataka, especially behind in the banks of Kaveri River. The Revenue Department too today has taken up the work where the puja was done, and also the ashes of 500 odd people will be immersed here in Kaveri River. Nagarjun Varkanath for India Today.
Now, Karnataka government had announced, Chief Minister Yediyurappa had announced about 1,250 crore as relief package to the unorganized sector. That included auto drivers, cab drivers, construction workers, artists, farmers. And now it appears that it's been a few days now. In fact, on the 19th of May, this relief package was announced. So far, Nolan Pinto brings us this ground report. Nobody has really been able to access this relief money. Let's take a quick look.
The lockdown by the Karnataka government to control the surge in the number of COVID cases has helped to a large extent. Cases which touched an all-time high of over 50,000 cases on a single day are now down to around 16,000. But the lockdown has impacted the lives of those who are from the lower strata of the society, such as the farmers, auto and cab drivers, construction workers, artists, and various workers in the unorganized sector. To ease their problems, Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa on May 19 announced a COVID relief package worth Rs 1,250 crores. But 15 days later, the relief amount has not reached them all. Gangadhar, who is an auto driver, says that they want the government to lift the lockdown so that they can get back to the work, saying that the government aid has never reached them.
ಇನ್ನೂ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಇನ್ನೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೈಗೆ ಸೇರಿಲ್ಲ.
ಹೇಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಾ ಸರ್?
ಅದೇ ಆನ್ಲೈನು ಸೇವಾ ಸಿಂಧು ಅಂತ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರ್ತದೆ ನೋಡಬೇಕು. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮು ಇದೇ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮು ಒಂದು 25% ಬಂತು, 75% ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ. 5,000 ಸಾವಿರ ಮಾಡಿದರು, ಅದು ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಸಲ ಏನೋ 3,000 ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
Roadside vendors are also struggling to cope. Very few of them are out on the streets right now. All their fruits are wasted every day and they haven't received a single penny from the relief amount.
ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, 2,000 ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಮುಂಚೆ ಮೋದಿಯವರು 10,000 ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಇಂಟು ಫೋಟೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿಡಿದು ಎಲ್ಲ 1,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಖರ್ಚಾಯ್ತು ಸರ್. ಅದನ್ನು 1 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಸರ್. ಇದನ್ನು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 400-500 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಖರ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಣ್ಣೆಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಸರ್. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು 2 ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು.
The government has assured that as many as 3.05 lakh unorganized sector workers, including tailors, potters, mechanics, blacksmiths and domestic workers, will be given Rs 2,000 each. But that hasn't happened yet.
ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರು ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ತುಂಬ ಲಾಕ್ಡೌನಾಗ ತುಂಬ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು. 5,000 ಸಾವಿರ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದಿದ್ರು, ಆದರೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡೇ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಸಲನೂ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದರು, ಬಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಏನು ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ನಮಗೂ ಅರ್ಥನೇ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿಲ್ಲ ಸರಿಗೆ. ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಬಟ್ ಈ ಸಲ 2,000 ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಮಗೇನು ಸಾಲೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ. 2,000 ಏನು ಸಾಲುತ್ತೆ? ಮನೇಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರೆ 8 ಜನ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಈಗ ದುಡಿಮೆ ನಂಬ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ನಾವು ಬದುಕ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು.
The opposition Congress in the state has now begun distributing ration kits to many such people, claiming that with no relief amount reaching them, this is the only way they can survive till the lockdown ends.
Chief Minister of Karnataka had announced a package of 1,200 crores for the poor, especially the Corona warriors and the poor in the BPR. Not even a single rupee has been distributed. That is the reason we as a Congress members in almost all the wards we are distributing the food kits and the even the medical kits are also being distributed for the poor people. It's only because after the failure of the government, it is the duty of the government to provide these amenities. Since they have failed, we are doing the same thing. There is no money, it is just a jumla.
It's been 2 weeks now since Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa announced a COVID relief package for all those in need. But as of today, many of them state that they have not received any money. They do not know what has happened to it, neither do they believe they will ever receive it. This is the state of affairs in Karnataka today. With video journalist Madhuwar, Nolan Pinto for India Today.